All right, so we are recording. Sweet. So did everybody have a chance to do their homework assignments in the workbook today?
No, teacher, I did not.
Shame.
I didn't.
That is totally okay.
Hey, I just did mine in the last 20 minutes. I was like, Matt, you got to put the kids to bed so I can go work on my homework.
I did mine earlier today. We had somebody call earlier in the week asking if they could come and give us a sales pitch, basically. So we scheduled an appointment for 1 o'clock today. He never showed up. So like,
he's not treating his business like a business.
Exactly. So there's our business tip for the day. You schedule a class, hold the class. Jenny and I talked about that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we've been through that.
People, they set aside their time, and even if it's just one person that shows up, you should not disrespect their time.
Well, that's an opportunity to bless them.
Absolutely. But I mean, that was like today, he was coming out here for just us. It was one person, but we set aside our time for him and he never came. So, anyway.
Yes, did you do the workbook?
Yes, I did.
Up all the way. But from yesterday. And then I was out of town again today.
Oh. All right. Well, I guess we'll kind of round robin again, and I'll share my story. Even if you didn't write it down, you know your story. We can still learn from it. So, it said to write down where you've been and share some of the hardest moments in your life, and then write family. So, I guess our hard time started when let me shut my door so my kids.
Hold on, sorry, Lindsay. We've got some background noise going on here.
Be quiet.
Emmett, you need to stop.
Yeah. So starting at 18 months, John David started having trouble with asthma. And that led to multiple doctor visits, ER visits. None of the doctors tried to figure out what was the cause, so we were just always dealing with sickness and medicine. Then between Gavin and John David, I was one stage away from cervical cancer. So I had to have a leak procedure done, and they took out a big, like, quarter-sized chunk of my cervix. They told me it would not affect my ability to have or carry another child. So I got pregnant with Gavin, and that was wrong. So I ended up going into labor with Gavin at 27 weeks because I couldn't support the weight. And so that led to 10 weeks of bed rest, 6 of which were in the hospital without my family. Because I was out of work for 4 months, we ended up foreclosing on our house because I had no income those 4 months, and we had all those medical bills from being in the hospital for 6 weeks. And ultimately, all of those hard times led to me looking for natural solutions, which led us to a naturopathic doctor and led me to Jenny asking questions about essential oils. And ultimately, the result of that was 2 years of a really, really strict diet, which made John David, I guess, a target for bullies at school. And so then we got to figure out a way to homeschool. And so that's where we are today. So I've quit my job, which was hard. But now I'm very, very thankful that we're doing that so we can homeschool with our family. And famine over. Big letters, she said. So, yes. My story, my hard times.
That's awesome. I don't think I spent as much time on this part as I should have. Like I just said, I just spent 20 minutes and I just ran through it. But I kind of like went back to like when I was growing up, because I feel like that's where a lot of my motivation comes now, because my parents lived paycheck to paycheck and we had like no money. And Matt's family was the same way. His parents were the same way. They lived paycheck to paycheck, had no money. Like we both lived, were clothes and hand-me-downs, our whole childhood. So I feel like for Matt and I, like that's helped us to be really responsible with our money. So I feel like in our marriage, like we've done a really good job with our money, but a lot of my motivation comes from my past. So I just put my parents lived paycheck to paycheck. I remember like credit card collectors calling our house like all of the time. And my mom would always tell me to answer the phone and to lie to them and tell them that she wasn't there. So, I also grew up like watching my parents like work really, really hard for like hardly anything. Like my mom, she catered, she baked for the farmer's market. She would stay up until like 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, like baking all of this food, and didn't even know if it was going to sell at the farmer's market. And it was, just enough money to cover her ingredients, and like maybe she would earn like $3 an hour for everything she had baked. It was ridiculous. My dad was in the Navy for a long time. He worked on a ship. He was gone most of my childhood. He was out to sea, and that was just enough to send home a paycheck just to cover that month's expenses. So literally, my mom pretty much raised us. I remember when I was a teenager and I had gotten a job as a hostess at Red Lobster, and I wanted to buy this car, and I was making enough money to buy the car, but my parents couldn't co-sign the loan because of their terrible financial history. And that was sort of devastating for me and made me really angry, actually, because I was like, I'm working hard, I can pay for this, yet my parents can't co-sign. That means I can't get it. So that really has stood out to me. And then another thing was like my mom couldn't help us pay for our wedding. And by that point, my parents had gotten divorced. My dad was actually doing well. Like he had learned from his financial mistakes and did better. And my mom still is not there. She's still struggling. But anyways, that was just hard because like I saw how that was like devastating for her, that she wanted to help us pay for our wedding, and she like literally she couldn't, and it was like really hard for her to admit that to us. So those are just some things that stand out for me. Just it sucks to struggle financially. So I use that as motivation and fuel, to not be that for my kids. I want my kids to have better. So
that's awesome. Do either of you guys want to share? I know you didn't really have time to collect your thoughts, but
you can just talk about it. If there's something, you may not have anything written down, but if you want to share a little bit, I think it'd be good.
I can share.
Yeah.
I think what kind of led me to like the business side of Young Living is after Jason and I, like, we've been married for almost a year. The first few months of marriage, like, I wouldn't even say we're living paycheck to paycheck, because, like, there were sometimes, like she said in the book, for about 3 months that we had to choose, like, okay, do we want to, like, eat, like, a real dinner, or do we want, like, gas in the car to go to work? And so a lot of nights we would just eat cereal for dinner, or we would go over to my grandparents' house because she would feed us. So that was like our first 2 months of marriage, and we knew how to budget, and we knew like how to handle money because we had seen how to not handle money. But it was just hard because we're doing everything we're supposed to be doing, but we're still struggling. And thankfully, like, we're not in that place anymore. But in that period of time, we kind of like were evaluating like what we could do. And I think we realized how like poor of influences we had with money, and how we never wanted to be like that. For like my parents, like, well, both of our parents, his parents were a little worse off than mine. I never had like my family didn't have a lot of money growing up, and like Jenny said, it was paycheck to paycheck, and there was never any extra things. And if my mom made, a couple like $10 tutoring, she was a teacher, but when she stayed home, she would like use it to go buy us Happy Meals, and like that was our big like treat once in a while. So that was hard growing up, but on like the opposite end of that, my grandparents were very, very, and are very, very wealthy, and they would spoil us like rotten, which now that I look back, it was like hard because when I was little, like I was just like, oh, I want to go to their house because they're gonna give me stuff, like, but seeing how they handle like their wealth is not how, like, you know, if I make that much money one day, that's not how what I want to do with it either, because they just kind of, I don't want to say hoard it, but they hoard it and only use it for themselves, and don't tithe, don't help other people, like don't do anything that I would want to do with my money if I made that much money. So for me, it just kind of was seeing all these poor influences and being like, I want to, like, however much money I do make, whether it's, you know, the very little that we had right after we got married, or if I, you know, like when I get Royal Crown Diamond one day, I want to like handle my money in a way that's like honoring to the Lord and serving others. So I think that was my biggest why for doing the business, alongside of I want to stay home with my kids. So
what was the last part? I missed that.
I said alongside that, I want to stay home with my kids one day. And
Yeah.
he works in ministry, and there's very few ministry positions that would be able to support us as a family. So, and we want a lot of kids. So. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for sharing. Abby?
Okay. Well, my background, we had enough when I was growing up. Like my dad worked a government job, and my mom stayed at home with us. So we were fine. We always had what we needed. And we were able to go on, you know, a vacation each year and things. So I feel we weren't wealthy, but we always had what we needed. My dad was the one who was really good with money, and he passed away when I was 14 of cancer. So my mother, after that, she loved retail therapy to help her cope with losing my dad. So I didn't have the best teacher as far as finances, and you know, she didn't really teach me anything about, you know, managing a home. I married when I was very young and had my first child when I was 19. So even though I always knew that I wanted to be a mother, I was, you know, kind of thrown into it at a very young age. So I've kind of struggled from that point forward financially. I've definitely seen God's blessings, and he's definitely taken care of me and my family the whole time. But I would like to be able to bless others, especially, you know, of course, especially the ones that have helped me along the way. And to be able to do that would be pretty incredible. And as far as the oils, and when I was introduced to the oils, I was using some no-name brands oils for about a year before Lindsay introduced me to Young Living. And immediately I could see and tell a difference between the oils I had been using and Young Living. They definitely seemed more potent and more effective, and just a better quality. And then as far as Young Living goes, I have not stopped being impressed and amazed with the good things about Young Living. It seems like every day I'm learning something new about the company that makes me really proud to be part of the company. So That's it. I talk in circles, so hopefully y'all got something from that.
It's really good.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to flip to chapter 3 in the workbook. And so one of the things that I underlined was she said in the second paragraph, it was just raw work. It was rolling up my sleeves, getting out there and doing it. And then I also noted that she was talking about getting to silver, and that every single one of her silvers got there in 6 months by holding 4 classes a month and doing good follow-up. When they sold someone a kit, they immediately trained them using the teacher training script in the game plan. I thought that was huge.
That's exactly what I underlined. That just what you just said, because that's huge. I mean, 100% got to silver in 6, doing just classes, and then she went straight from kit to teaching them how to do what she's doing.
Yeah. And then on the next page, when she was talking about setting up your events, to set up the Facebook event for the person that you're going to host the event for, have 3 people, invite 50 people to each of those. And so I just thought that that was really good. And then right above the picture on the following page, she said, you have to put the work in and start digging. So I meant to get the vision board out of my old office, but I forgot to do that. So
I want to make a vision board.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
I have one. Just
somebody make one? Did anybody make one? Oh, what happened to Jessie?
I wanted to, but oh no.
Oh yeah, there she is.
There you are. Yeah, you froze for a minute.
We're frozen in time.
There really wasn't a lot, obviously, to do with chapter 3. Did any of you guys print out the script, though?
How do you do that?
The script, it's in our Biz Builders group. If you look up at the top.
Oh, okay. She was saying photocopy.
Well, photocopy out of the game plan book in the back.
Yeah.
But I retyped the whole thing for us so that we
that's right.
Fix it our way.
Yes, I remember now. You said you put that in the, okay. I remember
now. Okay, and then I guess since there wasn't much for chapter 3, let's go into today's lesson, which was chapter 4, now that we're all caught up. And who can tell me the 6 mistakes that Sarah talked about in chapter 4? What were the 6 pitfalls that every business builder makes?
Well, the first one was no strong close. So you're feeling intimidated. You're not feeling confident. You're scared because you don't want people to think that you're trying to sell them something. And you start to freeze up. You start to freeze up and it's like, oh, I don't, So it's not a strong close. You're not confident.
Yep.
That's the first mistake.
What's another one? Not having a good follow-up. Yep, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Tapping into the same friend circles. We're on page 34 for the last couple.
Not marketing enough, and giving enough time to let people plan to come to your class. Yep. Just doing it on a whim, like, oh, this Friday or something like that. You want to give it enough time for everybody to be able to make plans and talk it up more. Yeah, also not getting out there and actually teaching the classes, making excuses to, feel like you're doing something, but not actually doing anything that's growing your business. Right. Yeah. And then the last one was getting distracted. Yeah. So what were
that one hit home.
Yeah. Distracted. Is that right, Abby? You said distracted hit home?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, for me too.
Yeah.
I put that one down.
Yeah.
It's so hard, especially with social media. I mean, if that's how you're keeping in contact with most of your members and stuff like that is through social media, it gets very distracted. It's very easy to get distracted and go down rabbit trails, as Monique says.
The one that I think is the biggest pitfall for me is following up. Because I mean, usually I struggle with follow up because I either don't know what to say, because a lot of the members that I've signed up are people that I'm super close with. So calling someone I don't know is a little awkward. I don't know what to say, and I'm not good at just small talk. I'm kind of direct.
Opening the conversation.
Yeah.
Naturally. Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, if I'm calling to talk to you about oils, then I don't really do a lot of the, hey, how you doing? I just kind of like, hey, I'm calling to see how you're liking your oils, and I skip the, nice, get to know you kind of part. And so I have to write myself a note, like ask how they're doing, because I forget. I don't know, it's kind of bad, but, and I don't want to call and annoy people. So it's like knowing the correct amount of time. So it hasn't been too long. So then they're like, oh, well, she hasn't called me forever, but not too short that they're like, I just talked to you. So knowing that timeline for me is a little bit of a struggle. So yeah. What about you, Jessie?
I would say distractions is probably my biggest one too. And just like they said, with social media and everything, getting distracted by other things on social media, or even like, this is so silly, but like when I go to Pinterest to look up something for someone, and then I like get distracted on Pinterest.
Ooh, I like that. I'm adding that to my card or whatever. Yeah.
I don't go on it like, for that reason, so I don't waste time on it. But then I'm like, oh, I need to like look something up, and then I'm on there for 30 minutes.
It happens to everybody.
And honestly, like on the next page, when it talked about finding your solution, I wrote, I need to improve in all 6 of those areas, because I struggle to some degree with every single one of them. I mean, really, I do. But for me, like I said, the following up was the most, I guess, that's the one that affects my business the most. Hi, buddy. So yeah, I struggle with that the most. So I'm going to start using the follow-up system that they have in the game plan, including the note cards, so that I have some questions that it prompts me with. And then I loved what she said in the book. Let me see if I can find it. Under the follow-up one, she said to ask people to try the chemical-free lifestyle on Essential Rewards for 3 months to see how they feel. Just ask them. Like, a lot of times I am quick to say, oh, well, yeah, Essential Rewards is optional, you know. And so then if I make it sound like that, then people are like, well, I don't want to spend $50 a month. I don't want to be locked into anything. So I think it's a lot of times just how we're presenting it. So if I tell somebody, man, this program is fantastic. Try it for 3 months. Get some stuff in your house. If you don't like it, you can always cancel.
Yeah. I
think that's a much more helpful approach to them, because that way they're encouraged to try more products. Because I think about that. Sherry, who isn't here, she was in one of my very first classes, and she got on Essential Rewards right away, and she has been faithful on it over and over, month after month, and she loves the products, and she's trying products because of that. So I feel like when I was more confident about just saying, hey, this is Essential Rewards, and this is what it is, and this is why I love it, people were excited about it. But when I backed off, when I felt like, oh gosh, I don't want to be too pushy, then I had a lot of people not get on Essential Rewards, and they're not being served, because now they're the ones that love their oils but aren't replenishing their stock. So yeah, I that really stood out to me, was just asking people to try it for 3 months and see how they feel.
Yeah, I really like that. And I think about, how we just need to put ourselves in the people's shoes who are trying to learn about the oils and considering getting a kit. And it's like, what made you want to get a kit? I know for me, I wanted to make some lifestyle changes, and I wanted to stop using medicine on the kids. Of course, I was very open to the kit, and then I was very open to other things. And I feel like everybody else is the same way. If they're open to the kit, they're open to, it's not like they're just saying, oh, yeah, the kit, and that's it forever, So I think we just need to have more confidence, knowing, like, they're spending $160 because most likely they're in the same shoes that we were in when we bought our kit. They're looking for changes. So we just need to be really confident when we're just sharing with them, how we're using the products and all of that. But for me, my biggest pitfall is I don't treat it like a business. And I talked a little bit about that last night, but I just feel like I need to just be more there for my members, or for the people that have gotten kits for me. I just want to teach them as much as I can. I want to take it seriously. I want to catch up with them, as often as I can. I think, and like I said, I skipped ahead in this book, but I think Sarah has a rule like 3-10-30. Is that right, Lindsay? 3-10-30.
That's Terry Seacrest.
Oh, okay. Terry. Okay.
Yeah.
So like you catch up with them, 3 days after they get their kit, and then 10 days. And then, so I like that. And I think that's a good reason for us to get planners too. Like, so you can go ahead and pre-schedule that out. And that's another thing too. I will get a planner, because I feel like that's going to help me stay productive with follow-up, like just pre-scheduling it out. Yeah. And I said I will wake up every day except for Sundays. I want to take Sundays off with a list of 3 business goals and attack them. It can be something really simple too, but I'm going to have 3 goals, and I'm going to start doing classes. I will start doing classes, because that's something I'm scared to do, but I'm going to do it. Because she's saying it works, and I'm going to trust her, and it's working for her whole team. It's not just working for her. She said every single one of her people got silver and 6 who followed that plan. So we have to believe that.
I don't know if you guys saw my post that I put on my page, but I put a thing out there saying that the first 5 people that host a class for me is gonna get a huge goodie bag full of stuff to get their chemicals out of their house. And that's my way of trying to get some more classes scheduled out of my friend circle. But I was also thinking about putting that same post in our Joyfully Infused group and putting all of the people that are doing boot camp in there, and say contact one of us. And that way, like if it's somebody that knows you, Abby or Jesse, then they can contact you, and we can hopefully start with the people that are already loving their oils. And that is also going to help build your downline. So are you guys okay with us putting a post like that in there?
So would you guys be willing? So
Yeah,
are you asking would they be willing to do like make up a little gift basket of some, Young Living stuff to give the person hosting the class?
Well, it doesn't. I don't have to take that part. Doesn't have to be in there.
Oh,
just
okay.
more so like offering us to teach classes for the people in Joyfully Infused for their friends. And then you guys can decide whatever that looks like, as far as if you want to do giveaways, if that's even in your budget, or if you want to do whatever. So basically just putting it out there that we're available to teach classes for people in Joyfully Infused.
Yeah, I think it would be good to do a post like that. And then I think too, we can start, for those of us that already have a good downline going, just to kind of be thinking about people that we would want to personally contact to say, hey, would you consider, hosting a class in your home? Let me teach it. You invite your friends, like us personally reaching out.
Yeah. So that might be
the more stuff we can do, like personally, one-to-one, the better.
Okay, so maybe we don't put a post out there like that. Maybe we do more reaching out to people specifically in our downline.
I think so. I think we'll get better return from that.
Okay.
Personal.
Okay. Well, then I think that's a great place to start then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we have like 9 minutes left, and it says, well, first of all, we need to figure out kind of what this is going to look like since we're not doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday Zoom meetings. So do we want to still do chapters on our own and then discuss it when we get back together on Monday, or do we want to take the weekends off? Like, how do you guys want to do that?
I feel if I get a vote, I feel like it would time for me on the weekends is nil. I mean, I probably can still read, but I don't want to. I feel like it would be a lot to come back on Monday if we did like chapter 5, 6, that continued on. Maybe just to do one chapter over the weekend. That would be my my vote.
I agree.
Sure.
I think this has been really good this week. I'm really excited about how this has gone, and I'm just excited that we have you guys are participating and everything. This is really fun. I think let's take a break. Let's take a weekend break. Do y'all want to read like one chapter and do one thing in the workbook, or do y'all just want to?
I think we need to do one chapter
so that when we come back on Monday, we have something to talk about. Okay, so yeah.
So we'll do chapter 5.
Okay.
Like our homework for the weekend.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about that on Monday. So chapter 5 was overcoming excuses and finding your niche. So this is a really, really good chapter, and I think you're going to love it. But yeah, and then there's, I guess this work in the workbook is a little bit longer, just a few more writing like areas. So not too bad. So I think it's a good one to start with.
I think that's good. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then we'll come back fresh on Monday and ready for a new week.
Yes. Awesome. So I guess reach out to people. Okay, stop, please. Reach out to your people this weekend. Abby, I don't think you have anybody in your downline yet, but you do have people that are interested. And so let's get you a class scheduled, and then I will help you teach the class if you want. If you want some moral support or whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah.
And we need to start practicing our script. We need to do it the 10 times and check it off. Where is that in the workbook? Where she has
that was chapter 2, I think.
Yeah. So we gotta start practicing our script and check it off. And then you gotta read it in front of someone after 10 times, right? Find someone to read it in front of.
In the workbook, it's chapter 3.
Yeah, it is chapter 3.
Okay.
So maybe over the weekend we'll just like keep messaging in our little group and saying who has practiced their script once.
Yeah.
And that'll be just more motivation for us to practice it over the weekend.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good. Okay, guys. So all the videos I've been uploading not only to Facebook, but also I put them on our Joyfully Infused site. So for any of the people that you know that are not on Facebook, just send them to that website, and by the end of this book we'll have all of our conversations up on Facebook, up on Joyfully Infused too. So
Lindsay, I have a question. Did you get these books off of Sarah's website?
I did, because I ordered them in bulk.
Okay.
When you
How much were they?
Oh,
Remember? So I'm sure you got a better price because you ordered in bulk. I just have a couple of people I was thinking about buying one for.
Yeah, it was a way better price because when you buy it, it comes with the workbook.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, the workbook's good.
And it was more expensive when you buy it on Amazon. So you get a better price, and you can order them in sets of 10.
Okay.
So, and that might be something like if you guys know somebody else in your downline that would benefit from the book. Well, first of all, I've sent out the minis to everybody. So starting probably Monday, that's when you should start calling the people in your downline to see if they've gotten it and reaching out. And then if that sparks some interest, then say, hey, there's a book that goes along with it that gets in a lot more detail. And that's when we can start scheduling kind of the teacher training and the business opportunity trainings, just to kind of see who else might want to jump in and do the game plan. And that will give you a better idea as well on how many books you need to order. And if it's a big amount, I mean, let's say like we have 100 people in my entire downline that say they want to go. Well, then maybe we buy the 100 and split it up, and you know, get a better price that way. So we can always buy them off of each other if it's a better price that way. So.
I ordered my Tovi.
I know, you sent me the link. I'm ordering mine as soon as we get off.
I am really excited.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. Well, I can't wait I can't wait to scan the whole family. But I'm really excited about having it available at my classes, and I'm excited about some of my friends that have been on the fence and stuff about scanning them.
Yeah.
I'm like, here, let me scan you.
What we're gonna do is
give me your hand.
Yeah. Debbie sent me her link, and then I'll sign up, and then I'll send mine to Kirsten, and then hers, and then Kirsten will send it to you, Jesse, and then we'll just pass the links around so that everybody gets that $10 discount.
Yeah, because the $10 discount's really big. It goes from 40 to 30 a month.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That'll be really good. Awesome.
I have to confess, I had to go look it up.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was. When you were talking about it I was like, what is this? I had to go look it up because I didn't know what it was. We went to
convention last year.
I had never heard of it.
Free scans, and we were like, what is this? And then at retreat, a lady named Rhonda brought hers. And so I got another scan then, which showed a whole different set of oils. And you know what, Jesse, I was looking back at my scan report, and quite a few of them were singles. Like nutmeg was one of the ones at the top for me. And Hong Kwai. I don't know. I don't have that oil, but apparently I need it. That's a single. And but yeah, so there were a few singles.
Yeah. And mine.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I had a bunch of nutritional products because remember all of my stuff was digestive when we went on convention.
Yeah.
And I guess it was because all the traveling and we were eating well, and my system was not used to that.
Right. I mean, you typically very healthy, and we were eating really crappy. But yeah, my last scan came up with chocolate protein complete, and so I've been drinking that every day, and I feel really good. Plus, I've been taking multigreens and Super B and Ningxia. Anyways, I feel good. Anyway,
we're less than a minute to but I'm so excited that y'all are doing this with us, and I'm thankful for you. And
it's so fun.
Chapter 5 over the weekend, and we'll be ready to rock and roll again Monday at 8:30.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye. Bye.